Yeah, and it's beautiful because I see a lot of women's work in the same vein, and everybody has their specific gifts and their specific interpretations and way that they go about it. But there's so much need for this support right now, because I think there is a lot of awakening going on, and a lot of women kind of asking the question, or like looking back into themselves and really craving that sisterhood and that support. And so it's beautiful to see, as that need arises, that support is coming with it.
Yes. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I think that was beautifully said. Yeah, it really is. And there's so much of it happening right now, which is so, because, conversely, wow, you watch the news and it's terrifying. And I hear this from my kids, and I hear it, about the political stuff going on, and what are we going to do? And our world's in trouble. And when you step back and look at it from this perspective, everything really is exactly the way it's supposed to be. Yeah. And I do feel like we're all in sort of this awakening, this journey, and this thing is happening, and people are becoming more and more aware, and they're starting to recognize that it's not coincidence, and it's not just luck, and it's not just, oh, this person, that person. It's all of us. It's universal. It's just huge. And how exciting that is, because I mean, it really is kind of hard to wrap your brain around, but it's like the best Disneyland ride, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Like, I have all of this available to me. Yeah. I'm not just talking about human stuff, like materialistic things.
Oh yeah.
Not abundance. I'm talking about just realizing that you're part of this source, that realizing that connection, like you said, that welcome home, joyful music and energy and frequency that said, yay, you woke up from the dream, welcome home, we're so happy you're back, and realizing that is who you really are, then it sort of makes all of that trauma and all of the things going on here, not to minimalize it at all, because gosh, we are humans, right? I mean, we're spiritual beings having human experiences, but as humans having human experiences, tragedy breaks our hearts. It really rips us to pieces. The things that have gone on, in the last couple of days in the country with Orlando and whatnot, it's heart-wrenching. It's heart-wrenching. And you get so lost in it sometimes. So it's such a beautiful reminder to say that in the grand scheme of things, from a soul level, that's the human part. And it's really hard sometimes. Michael says life is a contact sport. And that's true, but isn't it beautiful to know that on that bigger scale, like, everything is just as it should be?
Yeah. It's so comforting. And to know too, like, I don't know how deep you want to get here, but
go for it.
As we're collectively waking up and individually waking up to this truth, to this reality, there really is a sense of, we can either come from a perspective or an embodiment of love and support and light and all this, beautiful experience that everyone is really longing for, like, at their core. Or there can be this kind of wrenching fear response, which can get interpreted and distorted into the violence that we see, or it's really just a removal from love.
Oh gosh, that is so spot on.
Yeah.
You're exactly right. And back to sort of that, a belief system context. I hesitate to use the word religious, but really it's like, if you think about it, isn't that what it says? It's an absence of light, or a separation from God. Like, it is a separation from love. That's creating that darkness. When love is infused, when there is that direct connection, it can't even exist.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist.
Yeah, exactly. And beyond even religion, just like from an energetic perspective, it's like you can feel that separation. Like, you can feel energetic frequency difference between being in that space of removal from love, separation from love, or cultivating it. And we can even feel it in ourselves, like when we get in that space. And I really believe as this awakening is happening and there is this outpouring of love and support and flourishing and all this beauty being created, at the same time, there's a reaction to that, yeah. Which is not necessarily wanting that light and love to flourish. And it gets distorted, and it does come out in these things that we see on the news and all that. And I know for myself, I used to get so wrapped up in politics and news and world events and all this. And I saw it as my responsibility to be really informed in all this. And not to say that I'm uninformed now, but I don't really interact with the news as much because I feel like the biggest impact I can have is by projecting and supporting with as much love as possible.
Yes.
And when I see those images and I'm put myself as part of that story, of separation from love, it does affect me to my core. And I'm very empathic as well. So it's like I can choose to internalize that or say, that's a terrible situation and send love to them and prayer.
You took the words right out of my mouth. Send love, sunlight. Yeah. It's interesting that you put it like that because I went on a media fast, probably 25 plus years ago, where I stopped watching the news and whatnot. I was living in the Bay Area at the time, and I was so afraid to go to the grocery store. I was getting to the point where I was afraid to leave my house. This is way before this spiritual journey started for me. I was scared. I was living in fear. Mm-hmm. And I would watch stories that would just reinforce that fear and make it stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger with every time I touched a newspaper or I looked. And when I say media fast, I guess, I don't know, I use Facebook mostly for business now, but, and the groups, the things I follow on Facebook, are things like your Facebook, so my Facebook thread is 100% constantly infused with this love and light and openness, and because those are the sites that I choose to interact with. I only knew about Orlando because of other people telling me about it.
Or like checking in. I
hadn't heard anything about it, and because just like you, I am also very empathic, and I would watch things on the news. I don't watch scary movies. I don't watch. I just don't invest my energy in it because I can feel it take my vibration and bring it to another level. And it's a downward level because it's either it's mostly fear-based. And so you're right. And some of those exercises and tools, I think, are helping people to get in tune that and feel it, learn to feel the difference. Some of the exercises that I have people do are to think about when they're upset or angry or sad and how they literally feel and constricted, and then versus when we do exercises with visualization and writing exercises and really getting into that and feeling it in that expansion, or having a memory that they tap into that's really positive. And you really can. You just need to slow down long enough to feel the difference, but it's very physical. It really does. It's not just mental. We really do feel it in our bodies. We really can learn to dial in. We really can learn. And in that interview that you and I talked about earlier with Wayne Dyer and Esther Hicks, one of the things that was talked about was in the morning, waking up, and she says it's getting on a higher disc. High frequency disc, but it's tuning into a higher vibration to set momentum. I loved that part of that interview. It talks about momentum, and that when we wake up, our thoughts create the momentum for the day. So it's learning to be still and connect with who we really are, which is going to be higher frequency, and setting an intention and consciously thinking about gratitude. I have people wake up and start immediately going through what's working, what am I grateful for? And I mean, really, really like makes you have goosebumps, tears, grateful for what's working in your life, because you can't be scared when you're grateful. You can't be angry when you're grateful.
Yeah.